This book made me cry. This fan fiction legitimately made me cry. So this one, of course, is called Operation Mothers, essentially, or Operation Motherhood, Has-Been Hotel. And from what the author has done is more or less sort of, in these 4 chapters, mind you, which is criminally underrated and should be continued, or at least someone adopt this idea, is what happens when Harry Potter, of course, the boy who lived, is adopted by Vaggie and, of course, Charlie from Has-Been Hotel, and they become his mothers. A boy of no more than 5 years old. A little baby boy. A little baby boy. So how does it begin? The story begins with Harry somehow not just... he couldn't take it. He can't take it anymore. He can't take the abuse. He can't handle it anymore. And he kills himself. He literally takes a swan dive and kills himself. Ladies and gentlemen, suicide is never the answer, and I'm going to say that right now, because I've had family members, both in the service and out of the service, who have taken their own lives. And reading that part really does hurt me a bit, because I have had to talk with family members who survived or have witnessed the suicides. And it never gets easy. I've had my own friends who've almost committed suicide. Even my own brother almost committed suicide. It's not the answer, ladies and gentlemen. It never is the answer. And that was the first one that hit me in the heart pretty damn hard. But what really hurt was that this little boy ends up in hell. And the demons originally think that he is a demon also, or at least, you know, looks like a child. That's his demonic form, because in hell, when you die, or at least in the Has-Been Hotel universe, it is said that when you die, you have this sort of demonic form that isn't hell, that isn't part of the Hellborn, of course, that isn't part of the hierarchy of hell, essentially, the sin souls. And Harry Potter's parents are rightfully pissed at God, of course, saying, you know, this is a child. A child should be, you know, allowed into heaven. And this is actually true. In the Bible, from what I remember of when I used to talk to my pastor, or even to a deacon, or any sort of, you know, person from the church, they said that if a child at a certain age does take their life, then, you know, they are still allowed into heaven, because that is still an innocent soul. It's been a while since I've read the Bible, of course, but I know that once you reach a certain age, then you are at that age of sin, essentially. You're at the age where if you commit a sin, then you are unable to be saved, or, you know, you have to go through redemption. But in this case, God basically tells the Potters, the parents, that Harry has Voldemort's soul attached to him, and as such could not be allowed into heaven because of that dark soul attached to him. Oh boy, that hurts more, because what God is essentially telling them is that because of Voldemort, basically Tom Riddle attaching part of his soul to Harry as a sort of Horcrux, or cursing Harry a little bit, that he could not be allowed into heaven. That hurts pretty deeply for anyone who has lost a child, and that was number 2 right there. The number 3 that really got me to cry, I'm gonna find out, because Harry's demonic side, the dark side of it, actually does manifest as a snake, a shadow, essentially, as his protector, not as his demon. Because when brought down to hell, that demonic form transforms into a sort of protector, its own sentient, sort of symbiotic attachment to Harry's soul, because now it is a sort of protective snake shadow, a sort of, I can't really describe the best to describe it. Anyway, so Vaggie and Charlie, of course, are... the story does cut to Vaggie and Charlie, who are going on a date. You know, just have a little fun. But then they come across screaming, yelling, essentially, and they find this snake demon, the shadowy snake demon, brutally murderizing another demon. And Charlie, of course, is trying to tell him that, you know, it's enough, he's dead. And when the shadow scans her, he says that, you know, his master needs a caring soul. The master needs to be protected. And that was another part of the symbiotic relationship that I actually liked, is that this demonic part of Harry is not trying to control Harry or try to take over his body. It literally wants to protect the thing that it's attached to. It wants to make sure that its master, its body essentially, that it is living off of, is happy, is protected, because it's no longer that soul of Voldemort, it is now all the negative emotions that Harry has ever had manifested, essentially. Then it gets heartbreaking, because when the shadow disappears, Charlie sees this little boy. A little boy who is malnourished, starving, and scared, and alone. The boy has been in hell for 2 weeks. 2 weeks this boy has been in hell fighting, essentially, trying to survive, trying to find a place. And oh boy, this part hurts pretty badly, because Charlie picks the boy up, takes him into her arms, and Vaggie, of course, they're comforting this boy. And they ask him, you know, once they get him calmed down, exactly what he's doing here. And he tells them everything. He tells them all the abuse. And I'm not going to go into it, because believe me, reading this was hard for me, because I knew people who were abused like that. I knew abuse victims who were like that. I myself was abused in the school system. I was hurt. I was beaten. I even had some threaten my own life in school by some of my bullies and detractors because of not only my autism, but also my political alignment in high school. Well, not just high school, but also fucking junior high. So I could relate to this boy. I could relate to what Harry had been through, and it hurt me bad enough emotionally reading this, and it broke my heart to the point I was openly crying. I had to stop reading because it brought back so many bad memories for me. And when I finally got back to reading this thing, Charlie and Vaggie's reaction was beyond pissed. I mean, they were sad, they were heartbroken, they were crying for this kid. And when he finally fell asleep, Charlie was in her full demonic princess form, threatening to kill these sons of bitches. And I mean threatening to do it, to go up to Earth, find them, and brutally murderize them. And I mean goddamn annihilate them. Vaggie, of course, had to calm her down, because if you have watched Hazbin Hotel, you know her demonic form, even if we've seen just a little bit of it. I'm talking the red eyes, the demonic horns, the brimstone and fire erupting all over the goddamn place. Calmed her down and said, in a very nice way, that they are going to take care of this kid. They are going to make this kid their own. They are going to show this kid with, they are going to shower this kid with love, because he has known nothing but hurt. They're going to love this kid as their own child. And Charlie, being Charlie, accepts it. She wants to shower this kid in love. She wants to spoil this kid. And damn it, Charlie, you are too damn pure for hell. You are just too pure. And they do. Because when they do bring him back to the hotel, everyone wants to introduce themselves to Harry, but he's scared. He buries himself in the Charlie and says, "We're going to take you up to the room. We're gonna make sure you had some sleep." And when they finally get the kid up there, Vaggie is alone with everyone else, and they want to know exactly what the hell is up with the kid. And she tells them exactly what happens. And Alistair, being Alistair, if anyone knows about the old good-fashioned strawberry pimp, realizes that if he ever frowns, that's not a good thing. Because if you know his backstory, you know damn well he's going to relate to Harry. And the fact that Vaggie tells them everything of what the kid told her, everyone's out for blood inside the hotel. Everyone now wants blood. But she calms them down and says that if ever these people come down to hell, and believe me, they're going to be coming down to hell, yeah, no, they're going to get some fucking payback for the kid. And they all agree that they're going to shower this kid with love. Even fucking Angel Dust is going to tone down the sexual innuendos and the sexualness. And he's going to make sure that this kid is shown some good, big brotherly or sisterly love. So, what happens after that, exactly? Well, after that, Harry is shown love. Even Alistair, not even joking on this, Alistair himself even transforms into his deer form. And Harry loves it. He starts petting Alistair, starts loving him. And it's... I'll be honest, I could see Alistair being that fun uncle, entertaining Harry, and allowing him to kind of curl up to him, you know, just sort of get down, let Harry lay on his deerly stomach in his deer form, and let him nap on the guy, or let him ride around on his back. I mean, you know, just be that fun uncle. And all the hotel staff starts introducing themselves and start having fun. They start loving Harry. They start trying to show the kid with love. And I'll be honest, it was heartwarming. It was just, even though they're in hell, it was so wholesome, so good. And even the more wholesome thing is when they take Harry out to essentially hell's version of Walmart, combined with freaking Costco, and they go to buy him stuff to, you know, new clothes, new everything. And when buying him everything, I mean, fucking buy the kid. Charlie is going overboard on spoiling the kid because she buys the entire goddamn toy section. She buys him damn near all the clothes, and is fucking dragging this huge bag as big as Santa's sack. I mean toy sack, not the other kind of sack. Literally dragging this damn sack because she wants to shower this kid with love and toys, and it is just so damn wholesome. And it's sad that the thing ends at only 4 damn chapters. To the author of this, continue it. Fucking show us the love that Harry's gonna get. Fucking show us this wholesomeness. Just fucking continue this shit, you son of a bitch! Anyway. That was Motherly Project's Has-Been Hotel. And what do I think of it? It's heartbreaking. It is wholesome. It is good. And I really want to see it continued. And if you want to see this book yourself or read it yourself, these 4 chapters are down below in the pinned comment. And I just... You know what? I'm getting myself down. Let's go to something much more fun and wholesome, ladies and gentlemen, or much more fun and bombastic. Let's go to Hell of a Boss. And the latest chapter of IMP meets The Boy Who Lives, or Boy Who Lives meets IMP, where it's the weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see how that goes. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, I've been Airsoft Alex, the guy who rocks a bray and reads fan fiction because, of course, YouTube loves fucking fan fiction reviews and book reviews. And let's get on to it, shall we?